welcome to the Front Three podcast with myself, Big Will, Coach Dan, and of course the prodigy himself, AJ. Fellas, how are we feeling? It's been a while.
Ladies first.
Oh.
Well, what did you say? I didn't hear it. Because with your hair, I thought to start on you.
Listen, for everyone watching, come on, man. I can do it all. I can do it all.
Out of 10, how are you rating the new look?
Oh, man.
It doesn't look terrible on him.
But nothing looks terrible on me. That's just facts.
But
Yeah,
Nothing.
I'm not rocking that.
okay.
Well, can you? That's the
I
question.
can grow my hair down long, I suppose, so forget it at
No
all.
comment on my side.
Exactly.
Exactly.
See a
AJ.
patch at the back.
All right, AJ, what do the people need to do?
So, guys, before we go anywhere, I want to challenge you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you want to engage in some, some verbal with us, please make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments, whether you agree with us or whether you don't. Let us know.
Fantastic. So, gentlemen, it's April. That only means one thing. Champions League, quarterfinals, semi-finals, final just around the corner. So we had a draw a few weeks ago, but then we've got some exciting ties coming up. So I just thought it'd be good for us just to preview those ties. So let's start off with the Italian matchup then, AJ. You've got the assignment this time. So we've got Napoli and we've got AC Milan. What was first of all your initial reactions to that specific tie?
So obviously, I went straight to it. Obviously, it's the Italian job, isn't it? So I went straight over to Italy. When I had a little look, I was like, okay, what's going on in the league and stuff? Obviously, we know how well Napoli have been doing this year, the brand of football that they're playing, Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia link up, and how Spalletti has really been getting the best out of them, And so I believe arguably Napoli probably been the best team in Europe, personally, from watching across the different leagues and seeing how they're just playing such great football.
Yeah.
So then obviously you look at AC Milan, they were fluctuating between second and third, and then they fell off a bit. Momentum went out a bit out the window, but recently they've been having a few good results here and there. So I thought, you know what? For me, sure banker, Napoli. But obviously last weekend, Osimhen out injured, and then Rafael Leao turned the game on its head, scored two great goals, and they ran out 4-0 winners. Of course, everyone will say, yeah, but that's in the league, but we all know football's about momentum. So going into this now, I feel like AC Milan will be thinking, we've beaten them twice this season.
Yeah.
And the last game, more convincing is 4-0. And so AC football's momentum and confidence. AC will go in with momentum and confidence. However, if Osimhen is fit, Napoli are a different prospect altogether. And so for me, I think Napoli will do the Italian job.
Okay.
However, it hinges on a few factors for me.
Go on.
Number one, Osimhen's fitness. Number two, whether Leao wants to play football or not. Listen, the guy has it all. Rafael Leao, we saw it last weekend. Yeah. He's got pace, he's got power, he's got skills, and he can finish. I mean, look, the way he dinked him in goal, bro, chef's kiss. I was like, wow, come on. Yeah. So, no, I think it's a great tie. And also, it's a great tie for Italian football. I think when you look at Champions League over the last few years, Italy hasn't been at the forefront of the Champions League that they were. When the times where, Inter were flying, Juve were flying, AC were flying. But now, they've come back to the forefront in terms of Inter, in terms of AC. And now Napoli are rearing their head and showing that they're a force to be reckoned with as well. So for Italian football, it's a great advert.
Yep.
But there's got to be a winner. And I think it's going to be Napoli, personally.
Okay, interesting. So then, Coach, sticking with the same side of the draw, we've got Inter Milan versus Benfica. Benfica, they've flown under the radar a bit, but if you look at their results both in Europe and in the league, I think they've only lost 2 games, and one of those was even on penalties. So talk to us about that tie. Benfica currently are favourites. Would you agree with that?
Favourites.
And I think I understand why, right? Like you were saying, in domestic league, they're doing brilliant.
Yeah.
In Champions League, they've been very excellent, scoring so many goals. In fact, because of them, our good old Scott Parker got his P45, didn't he?
You got to give it a P45 with express delivery. Bro.
And so I understand why they'll be favourites. With Inter, they don't score many goals, they don't concede many, and they're not winning many. So you're left with no man's land with them, Inter Milan, right? Last tie, I didn't think they were going to go through, but they held it, and it was back in Portugal as well, isn't it? So I think that's one thing that you can always rely on with Italian teams, in that they can shut up shop, right? And so you're never really sure what to do with them. I think, if this was years back and you were asking me this, and there's these away goal that really made a big difference, I might be thinking,
because the second leg's at Benfica.
yes, and so you might be thinking, who really wins it and whatnot. I mean, even still now, I don't know who wins it, but it gives it a different sort of feel to it, right? In the sense that, I just need to go there, maybe get 2 goals, and Benfica can get 2 goals there.
100%.
Because they're just filled with goals. I know Inter don't concede many, but Inter don't score much themselves either, right? I think the last time it was just 1 goal. They went through. They went through.
Yeah.
And that's what Inter can do. And so I'm a bit wary as to what will happen in this game for Benfica. But they're showing so many goals and just, I think here's one thing. So we speak about how Napoli's been brilliant in Europe. I think Benfica, like you used the right term, they've gone under the radar. Because I think we don't catch much of the Portuguese league.
Facts,
but they've been brilliant whenever we have seen them.
Yeah.
They've been very good. And their results tells you just as much. I mean, we're recording before the weekend, but they've got a big derby in Porto. It'll be interesting to see what that happens. I mean, regardless what happens, they're going to win the league. Guys, if you have to put a gun to my head, my mind is saying
Remember
Porto.
Lukaku's standing right next to you as well.
My mind is saying Porto. My mind is saying Benfica, just because.
Because I think they just play such good. The football they play is so good, and they score goals from all over the park. It's not just one person who's scoring goals.
Yes.
For example, with Napoli, we can always say we know that Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia will score.
Yeah.
Whereas with Benfica, they have 3 or 4 different places you can score.
Yeah.
So
funny enough, he says that, with the amount of goals they've been scoring, like João Mario, this guy that couldn't make it at West Ham, is
João Mario!
He's their top goal scorer and whatnot.
he's blowing it up.
And
So
he went to Inter for a while, innit? So this is a personal thing for him, I suppose. Guys, my head says Benfica, but my sensibility tells me Inter should know what to do. Inter should know what to do. I'll go for Inter.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move AJ then to the other side of the draw. So we've got Chelsea, Real Madrid. If we think back last year, I mean, what an incredible tie that was last year. I mean, it went right down to the wire, extra time, Benzema gets the winning goal. So what are your thoughts about this matchup this time around?
for me, the last 2 that we've spoken about, give or take, difficult decisions. This one, very simple, very plain Jane.
Really?
Listen. No one can come here and tell me new manager bounce, so Chelsea do anything. Listen, the form that Real Madrid are in, for me, it's Real Madrid all the way. Los Blancos, I've got to pull the curtains closed over Chelsea's Champions League adventure.
Yeah.
Because number one, we all know that Real Madrid have a weird affinity with the Champions League. All right? I don't know what kind of marriage this is, but it's always banging. Do you understand? It's always working.
Yeah.
However, you look at Chelsea and you look at their current struggle in the Prem, they
can't buy a goal.
They can't buy a goal. Look, they have no striker, number one. Okay? Number two, who?
Kai.
Kai, as a guy, I didn't even say Kai. No, no. Look, he's not a striker. He's more of a creative player. He's more of someone who can play in a 10 or play in between the hole, between the lines and make things happen. You see him go through one-on-one and goal, you're never 100% confident.
Even Gary Neville said he just ran towards the keeper, I guess.
You know what I mean? And I think Daniel Sturridge even picked up on it and said, when you're a striker, there's certain things, there's like an auto thing that goes off in your mind, like, this is how I normally finish all the time in training stuff, this is how I want to execute here. You look at these guys who are going through one-on-one for Chelsea, Kovacic had a really great chance, he never looked comfortable. Kai went through, never looked comfortable.
Even Modric against Aston Villa, he just passed it to the keeper.
Oh, not even Modric. What's his name?
Mikhailo Mudryk.
Mudryk. Yeah, so you look at these guys and no one looks comfortable in front of goal. Now you're coming up against the lethalest hitman in football in Karim Benzema, KB9, who scores all different type of goals. Whenever he gets a ball in and around the box, just outside the box, he looks comfortable. He looks like he's always going to hit the target. He's always going to score. And then you've got the wing wizard, Vinny, who this season has just gone up to another level. And their link-up has been extraordinary. So you're coming up against a team that can score loads and a team that can't score. Well, for me, this equation is very simple. The maths is simple. This one, 1 + 1 equals Chelsea going down. Do you know what I mean? So, you look at, obviously Chelsea have got Kante back, so the midfield battle will be more of a challenge for the likes of, Modric in there, who's been in excellent form again this season. And I'm just looking at Real Madrid's front line, Rodrigo, the guy's just in imperious form right now. He's just pulling up trees. Vinny's in good form, Benzema's in good form, and then Camavinga at left back, the passes he plays through between the lines, he looks comfortable there. So For me personally, and especially Frank Lampard's got to be in charge of that Chelsea team, Chelsea are going home. There's no two ways about it. And Ancelotti just has the know-how. He's too good. So for me, Los Blancos all the way.
Interesting. You want a quick word on that then?
Whenever you're convinced about a team, it's when they tend to sometimes let you down, isn't it? So,
not in this game, not in this game.
All right, fair enough. And I think, with Chelsea, in previous years when they've done really well in the Champions League, they've not done well. Like, they've not shown... You think about their year when they won in 2012. Was it 2012? Yeah, they went to the final.
Yeah, Di Matteo.
They didn't play great football.
Just found a way to get
Found a way to win.
Yeah.
Even against Dortmund. They weren't great. No. They found a way to win. Dortmund's a team that's been scoring loads of goals. Sometimes it just doesn't work or click for you in the domestic league. Yeah. But you find some
Champions
sort of
League.
There's nothing to lose really for Chelsea.
They've got nothing to lose
They've got
as well.
nothing to lose. Yeah. And I think for Frank Lampard as well, he's got so much to prove. He's got so much to prove. Maybe that will be like an impetus for him to be like, we're winning this game, right? Yeah. You take. Do you know
what?
Go for it.
If he was playing someone like, I don't know. If he was play someone like Dortmund, okay.
Like Bruges.
Bro, Union Berlin, Frankfurt, I can name all of them. Bro, you're coming up against Real Madrid.
Yes, that's the ultimate test, isn't it?
And also, that was a very good point you made. He might be like, he's got to prove something. That could be his unveiling as well.
It could do.
Personally for me, I just don't think Chelsea have the ability and the know-how to win this game.
You're right.
The know-how, though, question, just because a few years ago they win the final.
Okay, but out of the squad who won that final,
yes, how many are left?
Who are left?
And Real Madrid still have every single player that won it last year.
There's still Kante there, Havertz is there, Thiago Silva is still there.
Will Thiago be fit, number one? Probably not. I don't think he will.
Kante's missed a lot.
Kante's missed a lot.
He's back.
He is back. It would be unfair for him to get right back into it and require him to do the work that he's been doing for years. I think that's just too much.
I just feel like with all the variables out on the table, it looks like Real Madrid will win this. Of course, we know what Champions League nights are like. Anything can happen. But I just think in this period of time and with the way Real Madrid are playing, look at the way they dispatched Barcelona just the other day. Like, it's just clicked for them now. Yeah. And they're like, okay, so it's like the momentum, the beast is ready now. Okay, so whoever's in our way, we're going to swap them aside.
But you mentioned how Real Madrid beat Barcelona the other night, right?
Yeah.
And they were losing the first leg 1-0.
The first leg 1-0.
And there was a lot of things that come out in the sense of sort of like Ancelotti's approach and could they beat Barcelona? Because Barcelona's been beating them recently.
Yeah.
But then what did he do? He found some sort of like energy from that.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
With them,
and this is what I'm saying.
So Chelsea could do the same thing.
No, not with Ancelotti and Frank Lampard. Don't stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because this
is like the master and the apprentice.
Apprentice? No way, no. The master and kindergarten, bro. There's no apprentice here. Come on, man, bro. Work experience, bro. There's no.
Here's the point, right?
Fiat Punto.
So you've got, let's say, oh man, you've got on one side here, Lampard having to prove a point, and also Chelsea personally losing to them the way they did last year.
Yeah.
I think if you're a club that you want people to take you seriously, when you get given another chance, you have to take it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's against.
They've hit the form in the right
Benzema.
time.
That's what I call him now. He just scores hat tricks for fun, isn't it? Hattie Benzema.
Listen, you just know the guy's inevitable. I think I've come to that realization now. Yeah. Like I think Mesut Ozil said the other day, he's the greatest number 9 of our generation.
He just seems to be getting better with age, man.
Yeah. Honestly,
a very fine wine. Players you can say that about
him, Ronaldo. But
Yeah. Let's then stick to the same side of the tie coach. Then, so we've got Man City against Bayern Munich. We've got Pep against his arch nemesis Tuchel, who always seems to get one over him. Do you feel the same thing's going to happen in this tie? And just preview the tie for us as well.
Well, I'm in a sticky situation right now because I had one of those two to win it.
Yeah.
But right now, one of them are definitely going to go out. And I have the unfortunate job of picking who.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
People make the argument Tuchel came into Chelsea in a similar way.
Yeah.
And then took them over the line and they won it. For some weird reason, though, I think if they had Nagelsmann, I would fancy them more in this tie.
Really?
Than Tuchel.
That's interesting.
So
why?
just quickly then, just for the fans then, what is the difference in terms of the style of play for Nagelsmann, in terms of Nagelsmann's style, in terms of Tuchel's style? What's the main...
Well, it's weird, right? Because, those are both managers that want to dominate possession, right? With Tuchel, it's weird. Because when he was at Chelsea, I did say to you guys, he doesn't naturally want to play 3 at the back. He was forced to do that, right?
Yeah.
And so since we've known him in the EPL, he's always adopted that formation.
Yeah.
You know, once he succeeded in Lampard. With Bayern though, Bayern don't play 3 at the back.
No.
So he can't do that, right? He's not going to go there. And the German, they're particular about it. This is the club philosophy, you stick to it. Otherwise, you're the wrong manager. And so he's going to have to stick with that. And so you need to see how he rebrands himself. They come out guns blazing against Dortmund, but then they lose to Feinberg in the second game.
Yeah, but if you watch that game, like, bro,
you just have to get the results.
But even the Dortmund game, even like
Dortmund had chances, you know.
Dortmund had chances, but they still got slapped.
Perfect. Why you really got chances? But they still got
They didn't get slapped. That guy scored a last minute penalty. Come on, like
is there a big difference between a 4-2 and a 2-1?
No.
Those are some margins, AJ.
Bro,
A 4-2 and a 2-1.
Really? I mean, is this what we did?
Yes, you can talk about, you scored 4. Numerically, that's more.
Yeah.
But you still lose by the same kind of equal margin, isn't it?
Are you guys right?
Anyway, Feinberg progresses to the cup.
You've lost by 2 goals. 2-1,
You got that 1 goal. Okay, but here's the difference. You're talking about just 1 goal. That's the difference.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, okay, we're saying that Dortmund had chances. Yes, they had chances. They only took 2. Bayern had loads of chances. They took 4, right? Against Freiburg.
Feinberg, they took 1. However many chances you're going to say that they took 1.
Yeah, they took 1.
Yes.
But what I'm saying to you is that game should have gone extra time, but it didn't because it was a penalty. So it's not like Freiburg did anything. Oh my God!
But you have to win a cup tie.
Yeah, no,
and they won it.
100%.
And this is a cup tie.
100%. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but that maths was not mathsing. That's what I wanted to say.
It maths very well, actually.
I don't know what you went school, bro.
Bayern under Tuchel. We're still to see what happens. Yeah. We're still to see what happens.
Early days.
So he's got Dortmund, Feinberg, he's got Feinberg again, then he's got City. That's a tough thing because, had he beaten Feinberg, you might be thinking,
might rest a few.
It's like a little bit of pressure now, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. Because you can't then go and rest players, like AJ was saying,
and then
and then lose or
because one of the reasons why they brought him in is because Nagelsmann wasn't doing as well in the league.
No, I think that's a fallacy. I think that's a fallacy
as well.
I think Nagel. I'll tell you why. It's unclear as to why, but with Nagelsmann, he cuts a figure of a very arrogant individual. And in Bayern Munich, they run. It's a dictatorship at Bayern Munich. It's a dictatorship. That's why they run the way they run.
Yeah.
So no one can come in there and put their own imprint as in, this is how we're going to do things. Yeah. This is how we do things. We've identified you as someone that can obey orders or follow orders. Can you do it? Yeah. Yes. If you can't, they had no right to.
So you wouldn't go with the narrative that people are saying of they got Tuchel in because of obviously Man City. Him always
that would be the worst strategy on earth.
Seems quite short-termism, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Short-termism, but then if you think about it as well,
actually, not even short-termism
because also long-term wise, because you think about it, we all know Tuchel's a very good manager. He's managed some high-profile teams, high-profile players. He's shown that he can do it. His record is very decent.
One Champions League, got to 2 Champions League finals.
2 Champions League finals. So the record speaks for itself, but also. So that could be the long term is we're employing a very good coach who has very good ideas, who can, come in, meet our criteria to a degree, but also implement his own things. But also, he's one of the only coaches we can name of who has the upper hand over Pep or has had the upper hand over Pep.
See, for me as well, I don't know. That's what I don't really buy into.
It was a narrative that was floating around.
No,
I was just
floating around.
No, that is true. But look, I think with Erling Haaland, I said that name right? In my head, it sounds different.
Erling.
There you go. It's a pronunciator. There we go. Look, I think.
First of matching out English, not English.
Exactly. I think with him, he just has someone that. Would he be fit? That's it. Look,
if he plays this weekend, he'll be fit.
Exactly. So I don't even think they might want to risk him this weekend.
No.
They don't need it. They beat Liverpool, and Liverpool haven't been much of a force this year. You can argue.
Right, yeah, they haven't, have they?
No, they haven't at all. They beat them comfortably without him.
Yeah.
They don't need to go Bayern Munich to win the game.
That's true.
Pep never approaches a game like that.
No, he always goes to win.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so Bayern Munich will also need to be mindful of the different ways that City can find to win a game. So they won't go out there and play like they did against Dortmund. I don't think they can afford that. Tuchel, even at Chelsea when he beat City, he was a bit reserved in the way he approached the game.
Very much more reserved, 100%.
Pep is hardly that. And so that's why I think with Haaland and just how City you're talking about know-how and just needing some sort of like that extra impetus to go and win, I think they have to do it this year. We've been saying that for the last couple of years, but they have to do it this year. They have to do it this year.
We've been saying this since the money injection came in, bro.
But they have Erling, and I think that will be the difference.
I think it'll be. I think of course they have Haaland, but I think it'll be certain matchups across the pitch as well.
It would be.
Like, you know, you're looking at Grealish has been in great form. Does he take that form into this game? And he'll be up against a very good fullback. You know, so if he comes off the left, whether it's Pavard or Kimmich, do you know what I mean? The test will be sterner than, you know, some of the guys he's been playing against recently.
I don't buy that.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's going to flop. I'm just saying the test will be sterner. You know, other side, whether it's Riyadh, for example, he'll be coming up against, you know, a very good Alphonso Davies. So it's all little battles across the pitch.
But see, I can make the opposite argument. In the sense that Pavard hasn't come up against the quality of Grealish.
No, you're right.
Every weekend or
that's what I'm saying.
Like
so I think Haaland will play a massive part in these games. Whether he plays half an hour, 90 minutes across both legs. I just also think there are little subplots in midfield, in attacking areas. It will be very interesting how they develop and who kind of gets the upper hand over who. But I think at the end of the day, it's a tactical battle from the sides.
It has to be. It has to be. And this is why I'm looking at the strikers. City's got Erling Haaland, and they got Choupo. He's done what he can with his limited ability. But if you have to pick someone that will change the game,
that's a limited ability.
You know what I mean? That wasn't even a shot. I think you would agree with me.
It's a definite shot.
I think you agree with me. If you're having to make that sort of like final decision on who can actually take their team past the line, you can't look any further than the guy that's scoring goals. Like
I think it's 39 goals in 36 games this season.
Madness. The guy's a machine.
So again, guys, if you agree or disagree with our picks, let us know. But that does it for the Front Three podcast and our special Champions League quarter-final preview. Stay tuned.
3 wise men will listen to. There's only 3 wise men will listen to. It's the Front Three. No, it's the